You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it.
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hell. Welcome back, folks, to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wooldong, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
When you did that, all I could think of was, oh, Billy.
It was kind of a cross between that and like,
Yeah, that's what I thought of for sure.
Well, let's not also forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
How the heck are you boys on this fine
Feeling
Victory Monday?
Mighty fine, sir. It's Victory Monday for us, Tuesday for you folks, for you fine folks, because we've got a heck of an episode lined up here. Crazy, lots of stuff to talk about.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Per usual.
I'm wearing a ridiculous shirt. I need everyone to see. This is my hockey jersey, Charger.
Oh, when did you get that?
I bought it yesterday at the pro shop. Went a little crazy.
We saw your video that went viral on us where you're walking down carrying a bag full of stuff, rocking
my
the Uggs.
My wife bought a new Derwin jersey, a t-shirt, and a hoodie. And I was like, I got to get something out of this. Like, I can't leave empty-handed here. So I was like, I have pretty much everything else in the pro shop. I think it's time for the hockey jersey.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we got an intruder.
We got a rogue trooper.
What's
rogue
up,
agent.
dude?
Oh, he can't hide from us. We saw him.
Yeah, he's snuck in. You sneaky boy.
It is way past his bedtime.
No, yeah, don't hit that.
That's parenting right there.
Time out.
Time.
And we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Had to call an early timeout.
Children that should be in bed are not in
bed.
There's still plenty of time on the clock.
They're just so excited from that game yesterday, they still can't sleep.
Yeah, they're still jacked. They can feed off the energy.
They're ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, folks. As I said, lots to talk about. Big game, lots of moments to go over and comb through. We've got a very special, another home edition of Brisket, Not So Abroad, and a hefty Ask Boltfam coming off of this win. This win, folks. I mean, this was a game that we were, as Charger fans, understandably so, hesitant about what could potentially happen. Seeing the Rams put up a 50 burger not too long ago, it's just like, ooh.
And against Denver. Denver was the number one scoring defense in the league, and they gave up a 50 spot.
Yeah. So
it just makes me feel like this team is just so different than the past, man. Like even us, like old time fans, were nervous about this shit, and the team is not. The team's just like, all right, well, we're just gonna go do work.
We show up and do what we're supposed to. We're gonna win by
3 scores and put our guys on ice on the fourth quarter. Get to see some Chase Daniels. You know what I mean?
When is the last time we've ever sat a healthy scratch?
Willingly put out Chase Daniel.
No,
not injury.
It didn't look awful. That was a nice little backup series.
I was totally okay with it. Yeah, folks, this game was just a game that was unexpected to, especially looking back at it, like preseason, we're going like, Chargers, Rams, we're going up against the previous Super Bowl winners. Going to be a big game.
Buzzsaw.
And not so much, not at least for the Rams.
Apparently, they're the first team to lose 11 games after winning a Super Bowl.
Crazy.
That's a tough look.
That is really tough.
It's a tough look. It's also a tough look. I saw on social media they were showing a whole bunch of Rams fans in the Chargers pro shop at the end of the game, looking at jerseys and stuff.
Yeah, there was a dude in an Aaron Donald jersey looking at Joey Bosa once.
Yeah.
Don't blame smart him. Swap.
Don't blame him.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. Just
I was sitting by several fans.
Your punishment.
Yeah, I was sitting by several fans who were like, oh, yeah, like he had Ram stuff on. He's like, yeah, but the Chargers are my second team. I was like, what? You can't do that.
People have different fandom than us. And I think sometimes I got to pinch myself and remind myself that not everyone wants to like
not
murder
everyone
for
fans
their team.
like us.
Yeah. Not everyone's a psychopath.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Kyle got to go to the game. We were so lucky to get him on the instant reaction, yelling and screaming. We saw Senior Snappy drifting and hovering in the background, and
That was awesome.
That was too funny. How are you feeling today? Not too bad. Still happy about the experience.
Yeah, that was so good. My wife woke up this morning. She's like, "That was such a fun day. Like the whole thing, start to finish. It was just, and it's so fun. Like being a part of this podcast. Like we get to be a part of the community in a way that you wouldn't get otherwise. Like when I show up to Snappy's tailgate, I wouldn't know Snappy if it wasn't for our podcast and what we're doing, and like all the guys, like Chris Moore and all those guys, and Aaron, all the guys that I just like. You just show up and like, oh, Kyle's here, and it's like I wouldn't know those guys from Adam if it wasn't for our podcast. So. From you. But I needed to give a shout out. There was a guy that stopped me at the game, Jacob Torres. It was the sweetest little thing. His two sons came up and they were like, what'd they say? They were like, "K, love you, bye," or something like that. That just his two sons walked up and I was like, "Oh my God." And they were like, "Are you the coach from Charger Chat?" And I was like, "Yes."
As a matter of fact, I am.
It was the first, and then he was like, "Can they get a picture with you?" And it was like the first time I've had like that
Solo
kind of
pick.
Young generation
with the kids cared at all to take a picture with me. It was
That
pretty
rocks.
cool. It was a really fun day.
In honor of that, I'm gonna try not to swear as much in this episode. I'm gonna try
catch it, yeah.
For the young, I didn't realize we had the younger demographic, so I'll try.
Sorry, Jacob.
Sorry, Jacob, and
Sorry
the
for
kiddos.
your virgin ears.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to tell me this. All right. I saw pictures of this, and I also saw, for those of you who haven't seen yet, we're going to be posting a video to Patreon here about Kyle's trip to SoFi and all the stuff that he enjoyed during that trip. But I'm seeing pictures of the Charger helmet golf cart thing.
Yeah, what was that?
That made an appearance?
That was sick. I don't know where it came from. We were just sitting there enjoying our tailgate. Out of nowhere, it's like there's like you hear like the sound of something growing, like like you hear people talking, and then all of a sudden this helmet shows up. It's just flying right through the middle of the tailgate. It was so sick.
That is so awesome.
I saw the Los Reyes guys doing it. So
so cool.
But that's what I mean, dude. Like that's like the pregame stuff. It's the stuff that brings people together. We haven't had a lot of new traditions as our fan base is growing, and we're creating new stuff every game. You even got the young kid, the crazy kid who's like throwing his jersey, taking his jersey off, and like swinging it. Now he's got a mural across the like somewhere over by. That's crazy.
That kid has become a legend for this team, for the 2022 Chargers, getting the mural, ending up on the, I mean, he's been on the Jumbotron probably more than anybody else, probably more than players. Yeah.
Give the Brisket Broads a little run for their money.
Absolutely.
Don't lose to him, Brisket Broads. You got to, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm just counting on you.
I don't know how you could possibly step up your game from what you're currently doing.
Yeah,
you got to find the next level.
Take your bonnets off and wave them around or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, bonnets are coming off.
But yeah, the guys getting photos with players after the game, Derwin James, and we saw Dicker the kicker take his shirt off and wave it around with the kid.
That made my day. There's a video he posted, Dicker the kicker posted, of swinging his shirt like with the kid. It's just amazing.
That kid is. I was talking to Kev about that. I was like, what a crazy life for this kid. He's coming in. I don't know how old he is. He can't be like older than what?
He's got to be 6, 7.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's just like, well, this is regular life. Everybody does this. Everybody takes their shirts out. You haven't been on the German? You've never been?
That's so BS. If I took my shirt off and waved around my head, I'd get thrown out of the stadium.
Yeah, you'd be kicked out for sure.
Revoked. Yeah. This guy now is famous.
If I did it, they'd be like, put on a bra. And I'd be like, oh, man.
You ruined my day. Oh, sorry, bad word.
I'm sorry, bad word.
Earmuffs. All right. Well, yeah, after the game, and we were just talking about it before, after the game, it was just like, all right, we're another win. We're solidifying ourselves in the playoff picture. And then somehow the Ravens decided to let it go and
let it go.
It just feels like a season of destiny. The teams that have, like the Jets losing like 5 in a row, and all these teams are doing exactly what we need them to do. It feels like every single game.
Yeah.
It's
the stars are aligning.
It's all coming together.
So
it's all part of the plan.
5th seed, man. Like 4 weeks ago, we were 6-6. Would you have ever considered we'd be the 5th seed right now?
We were going over percentages. We were just like, all right, well the
now we have a
percentages are there.
20%. Shoot.
That's just
We're alive.
It just goes to show you need to stay like locked into your team, man. You got to have confidence. And I know things can go up and down, but just stick with your boys. You know what I mean? Just good things can happen.
Good things can absolutely happen. As it stands right now, Kansas City's in the 1st seed. And then for those that haven't seen, there's a game that happened tonight, Buffalo and Cincinnati. Terrible injury that occurred that postponed the game, and understandably so. I can't imagine any player wanting to go out and play in that situation right now.
Oh,
but
no way.
Our thoughts and prayers are with Damar Hamlin. Hopefully last we saw that he was at the hospital and they put him to sleep, put a breathing tube down his throat, and just a heinous situation. Nothing you ever want to see. So we don't know as far as the seed where the Buffalo and Cincinnati, because they're pretty neck and neck as well. And Kansas City's right up at the top with Jacksonville down at the bottom. So, and there's like 4 teams that have 8-8 going into this, and we're not one of them, which is the wild thing. Like normally we'd be in that group. We'd be the 8-8 team going like, all right, well, we got to ask for this team to lose and this team to tie and this team to go across the ocean and come back on a train going 88 miles an hour from Pittsburgh. And then maybe we'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then our 40% chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, likely.
So as it stands right now, 5th seed against the 4th seed, Chargers would be playing against Jacksonville. Whether or not that stands remains to be seen.
Isn't it fascinating that Jacksonville and Tennessee play each other last game of the year to decide?
Winner wins it. Winner's in, loser goes home.
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quick. You know, I don't know how both those seem like good matchups for us. I know the Titans are more banged up and that we had a close one with them, but I would love just to beat the shit out of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'd love to get another shot at that with, Herbo not coming immediately off some broken rib cartilage.
No bruised
the whole
ribs.
Team, we had no team in that game.
Well, that was the game
Lindsley
that we lost
was
Rashawn and Joey.
Herbert was hurt.
Lindsley
Joey
was hurt.
went out. Yeah, it was that was just a really bad.
Guyton went out near the end of that
Slater,
game.
isn't that Slater's injury too?
Yeah, Slater, Joey. It was just a heinous game for injuries all around. So a rematch would be ideal.
For me, anytime you're in the playoffs, it's going to be a tough game. They're a good team. That's how they got there. And Jacksonville is on a hot streak right now. I like the idea of having a warm weather game, at least one in the playoffs before heading up to Buffalo or Kansas City, where it's going to just be bone chilling cold. It'd be nice to have one game in a little bit of decent weather.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at all these teams that are in the running that you could play, Buffalo, New England, Cincinnati, Baltimore, Kansas City, all these places are freezing.
Yeah.
So the only 2 teams that have like good weather would be the, Chargers and Jacksonville. So I just want to see.
We're cheering for good weather.
Good weather. I want to get in on this 5th seed and I want to see an upset so we can possibly get,
we need
a home game.
We need 3 upsets to get a home game.
3?
Yeah. Every wild card team has to win for us to get a home game.
I don't see why it couldn't happen.
It's possible, but
stranger things have happened.
But we are one of the 3.
Right.
That's right.
So we win and we need 2 others.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
New England
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Chiefs, Bengals, they're both going to lose.
I kind of want to go to Kansas City. I think that'd be kind of fun. The little retribution from that first game.
I desperately want Kansas City in the second round. Desperately.
Yeah. And this time we can bring Adam with us because he was sick with COVID the last time we went.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun.
We can't lose to the Chiefs 3 times in 1 year.
No.
It's not mathematically.
We need to win.
It's science.
And when we do it, we need to win by 7. So that way we will have outbeat them by more points than they beat us during the regular season.
We have more. Yeah, I like that. I like
One
that. It's
touchdown.
kind of like soccer when they do the home and away and you total up all the goals.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right. Well, it's called aggregate and it's a soccer thing. But moving on. Some of our listeners maybe got it.
Yeah,
Tommy likey.
Tommy
what wingy. All right. Looking over at Twitter, Eric Smith tweeting out about the Chargers' 3rd down defense over the past 5 games. Raiders were 3-10 on 3rd down efficiency. Dolphins 3 for 11. Titans 3 for 11. Colts 0 for 10. And Rams 4 for 11. Just 13 conversions allowed in the past 53 attempts, 24.5% for those of you doing the math at home. Pretty good.
Crazy.
It's consistent. Like that's 5 games of consistency. And the beginning of the season, that's where I like had my biggest like just letdowns when we would just give up stupid third downs. And they have cleaned that shit up. They are looking really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still scarred from the hey diddle diddle Ray Rice up the middle. Do you guys remember that?
Vividly.
No.
Remember
It was
that.
like third and felt like 45.
It was
And
like
they just
30
ran
something.
They just ran a little draw play to try to like get a couple yards, and he ran for a first down. And I was like, oh my God.
Thanks,
that's
Gus Bradley, for ruining my life.
And that's like, that is now is burned into my brain. Anytime it's third and long, it's like, oh,
Yeesh.
all right, that sucks. But these last 5 games, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Finishing
That's money.
strong. We're playing some of the best football. I mean, that's the thing that I also think about too. Like when we talk about, or when we look back at this, at the beginning of the season, we were having some of these losses and we were like, God, we suck. We got to fire everybody. Would you rather us have great football at the beginning and terrible in the second, or survivable football in the beginning and, oh my God, we're coming alive near the end?
Win 5 straight. I'll take win 5 straight at the end of the year and go into the playoffs.
Strong,
Big
man.
time.
Okay, wait. I have to retract my statement and correct what I said. It's
please?
even worse than I thought.
Oh shit.
Hey diddle diddle Ray Rice up the middle was 4th and 29
That's
with
what
a
I thought.
minute and a half on the clock. We were up by 3. He went 4th and 29. He caught a little tiny dump off pass and ran for 30, got the first down, and they were able to
Yikes.
tie the game moments later. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But
Sounds terrible.
We're not that.
we're not that Chargers anymore.
Not anymore.
Those aren't us.
Looking over at Field Yates, tweeting out Austin Ekeler this season, 18 total tutties, most in the NFL, 103 catches, career high, 1,587 total yards, career high, 16 games with 10 plus FP.
Fantasy points.
Only non-QB to do so. 9 games with over 20 fantasy points, most among running backs. 4 games with over 30 fantasy points, tied for most among running backs, and 32.1 fantasy points on Championship Sunday.
Don't remind me.
Hey, you put it in the outline, my man.
I didn't think about the impact. When you read it, it's different than being
When he's
read.
watching me nod my head, it hits different.
It just
It's
pisses
like,
me
oh,
off.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, it's
And
it's
no
still
Pro Bowl.
criminal. Yeah, the no Pro Bowl for this stud of a man.
Selfishly, I want him to get 2 touchdowns this last game. Just to have
why not?
back-to-back
20
TD
touchdown seasons.
Insanity.
Yeah, and he just beat LT's reception record.
Yeah.
He had 100, now he's got 103.
Crazy.
I
And
just,
did
like,
it in not without the extra game. Same
Tell
amount of
me that
games.
wasn't the right decision, letting Melvin Gordon go and sticking with our guy. Tell me
If
that
anything,
wasn't
you
the
wish
best
they
thing.
would have made it sooner.
Yeah, nuts.
Oh, I hope Melvin Gordon gets activated for when we play them in the second round and he just fumbles 4 times.
For who? The Broncos?
He's on the Chiefs.
Chiefs
He's
now.
on the Chiefs. I forgot.
He's on their practice squad. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be fun. All right. Well, looking over, it's the post-game presser from the coach on an update regarding Derwin James. Brandon Staley said we'll have more of an update for you on Wednesday, but he's working through the protocol. You'll be able to know his practice status on Wednesday.
I think he's going to definitely play this week, and you're going to have pretty much the entire defense the way it should have been for the last game, so they can all get together before we go into the playoffs. So I'm hoping, I can't imagine he won't play this week.
Yeah. He would have to biff some part of the concussion protocol for that to happen, because he already was getting some limited practice in last week. So as long as he gets through the protocol, absolutely should be what happens.
Mhm.
Staley on the team's approach to the upcoming game with a playoff berth already secured said our approach is definitely going to get a shot to win this ball game and play as well as we can heading into the playoffs. I think that there's certainly an advantage to being the number 5 seed from where I stand. So we're going to try and get there. Then the case-by-case nature of the players, I think that is the approach that we're going to take in terms of whether or not to sit them. If there's something that we feel like that would be a good decision, we'll take that case by case. I think that going into the playoffs, you have to be playing football to get to where you want to go. So we're going to try and maximize our group heading into the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to say everybody. Go get the win, secure the 5 seed, get it. Hopefully, third quarter. Same thing we did last game, where it was the fourth quarter. You sit all your studs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the conservative approach, like you did with Derwin James this week. It's if anybody is like dealing with something that could get worse, we're going to be conservative. But if everyone's ready to go, we're going to play them and try to win the game.
Yeah,
totally.
Do you foresee any player that would normally not start this next game?
Trey Pipkins is the only one to me that might be a scratch, just because with dealing with that knee all season long and then kind of re-aggravating it this last week. I don't know. I think that this could be a good week to be able to get him a little bit of rest. I don't think he needs the reps anymore. I feel like he's gotten through what needed to get through, and he's toughed it out. But I think, I don't know. That's just the only player in my mind that could potentially be a healthy-ish scratch.
Yeah. I don't think that's a bad idea, especially giving somebody like Foster Sarell some more reps to try to get a little bit higher at a level. I don't know if that's even a thought in the process of benching Pipkins.
I kind of want, as much as I want to let Pipkins heal a little bit, I also want to keep Justin incredibly upright for this game. I don't want anything to happen to him. So, and Foster Sarell was giving up some of the most pressures out of anybody on the offensive line when he played. So that's my only concern. Maybe Rashawn comes back and then you kick over Sawyer to the right. You know what I mean? You feel me?
Hey.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate it. Why is no one asking still?
Well, they asked on Tackle Rashawn Slater's timeline for a potential return this season. Staley said he is still working through his return to play. He's working through things and progressing well. If he returns to play, I think that you guys will sense that momentum in terms of how we will handle it.
That is the most vague thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's like, if it happens, I think everybody will know because of what we're doing in the general vicinity of the building.
What's for lunch?
For you.
Yeah.
Check, please.
What? What, coach? This is some gymnastics of answer. You're flipping and flopping and
he's
twirling
the best
and
when
diving.
It comes to that stuff.
Yeah, impressive. So
no idea
the vagueness and weirdness of this makes me feel like it's going to happen pretty soon. Because like even with Joey, he's just kind of like, he's kind of coy when he was getting ready to come back. You know what I mean? That week before, he just kind of like, we'll see, with like a little smile on his face a little bit. If you go back and look at it. So maybe this is his like cue to all of us really diehards that listen to every one of his press conferences. It's like, he's coming back, baby.
Just why can't some of our players be on social media, for God's sake? Like, no, everyone that's hurt, like Rashawn, never on social media. Joey Bosa, never on social media. Like, leak
the two
something.
Players we need to know what's going on in their lives. We want you on social media.
We want some updates, please and thank you. Yeah, Staley's so vague and giving that kind of an answer. I wonder if we should like count his blinks and see if maybe there's like a
does he get a twitch when we ask about Slater?
Is he sending out a Morse code with his eyes and going like, Slater's coming back week 18? Beep, 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 beep.
I got nothing to do tomorrow. I'll go have a look.
And then on if there were any other additional injuries coming out of the game, Staley said not really in terms of the bumps and bruises, normal, but nothing to report just yet in terms of practice for Wednesday. Hallelujah.
Right. Being healthy at the end of the year. I'll take it.
Yeah, you love to see that. You love to see that players are coming into next game at this point in the season, not dealing with any kind of injury. And you love to see people joining our Patreon over at patreon.com/ChargerChat. We've got some names to shout out here, like April Weil and JD Cool Saver Cool. Pretty sure that's Justin Saver Cool.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it is. 2 new Patreon supporters. Thank you both for joining. We greatly appreciate that.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, there's some funny videos. I posted one today for Victory Monday.
That was ridiculous.
It was a short and sweet, funny one, but
behind the scenes,
it got a lot of activity, I think. So go on over to patreon.com/ChargerChat to check that out. And if you don't want to go there, that's okay. Go to chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. You can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in our member section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. So go check out chargerchat.com. All right. Time to go on to the next segment. This is another not a long distance edition of this segment. It's time for local Brisket A'broads.
Briskets a home.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, there's no place they wouldn't try to hang out with Justin and his squad. Get ready to hear their positive thoughts. It's time for Brisket A'broads. Happy New Year, everybody!
So we weren't going to be doing a segment at all, but after the game was over, Kevin and Adam sent us this video, and so we will share it with all of you.
We need it.
He said, can you guys do a Brisket A'broads segment for this week? And then with that video.
Wait, what? We're going to say no?
Or are we going to say no?
No, we're going to say yes. I mean, we would have been nice to know before so we could film things you guys actually wanted to see instead of 3 hours of Joey Bosa. He's back.
He's back, you guys. And that's what we recorded at this game.
Yeah. At first, I wasn't sure if he was playing because he was out just in his exercise clothes and everyone else had pads on. But then... he got help putting his pads on.
That's true. Mary wanted to show you that video.
Yeah.
The most important thing about this game was that we had a special guest.
Kea!
The Queen. Justin Herbert's girlfriend, if you know anything about the Chargers. So we sat in section 105 in the end zone right next to the tunnel where the Chargers run out of. Super cool.
But we were going to say that we waited for Kyle.
Oh. We got to see a lot of great people, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see Kyle or Hillary or Teddy. We waited for you guys at the Snappies, but I think that we literally missed you by like 2 minutes. So that's like really sad. Is that what you guys want to hear about? I'm doing a bad job. What else?
So we got to our seats early and we watched the players warm up. And well, we already talked about Joey Bosa.
I know. But see, this is what you get if you ask us. Then we're just going to circle our way back to talking about Joey Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw the players warm up. We saw Joey Bosa warm up. Look at some more footage of Joey Bosa. Okay, my parents, Kea is friggin' the greatest thing to sit with Kea because she is crazy just like us and screams and cheers for the defense just like us.
Before the game had started, it was not the Rams house. It was the Bolt house.
There was like 4 Rams fans at Thunder Alley that were like trying to do some kind of little parade thing with their flag where they walked through Thunder Alley. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's just sad. You're just showing everyone how few of fans you have. You're like, look at the 4 of us.
Does this count as a parade? How many do we need to be a parade?
This is sad. Okay. You guys know what we think about SoFi because we did a 20-minute video about it last time. But here's what Kea thought about the experience.
Nice.
So how did this compare? Like, what did you think of SoFi?
It was, I don't want to say like better because I love Qualcomm, but it was definitely, I don't know, everything seemed like brighter and more vibrant. Maybe it's like the jerseys and like the fact like turf and everything is new. But yeah, and the whole Chargers have no fans. That needs to go. It was all blue and it was packed. I didn't expect that many people, but yeah, it was insane and the vibes were amazing. So,
what was your favorite moment from the game?
It's hard to pick just one, but it would have to be when Ekeler ran all the way for I don't even know how many yards, 1 billion, for that touchdown. Especially because he's on my fantasy team and I'm in the Super Bowl right now. So, yeah, way to go, Ekeler. Ekeler carrying my team.
What was your favorite thing that you ate at SoCal?
I ate only the Doritos chips, so those were really good.
How'd you think the water was?
The water, it was probably because it was cold. I don't really like Aquafina, but it still tasted good. It's probably the Chargers. They just made everything taste better.
Kaya.
Yeah.
You're a freaking gem. Somebody just texted us, and I feel like it was Kevin.
It was Kaya.
Oh, Kaya texted? Yeah. Oh, before I forget, would you please send the pics we took in the hotel with my family? Don't worry, Kaya. We'll send you those pics.
After the game, everyone was in high spirits, exiting the stadium.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll get it, Keenan! Go, Keenan! Go, Keenan! Go!
We saw this group of people and they were like, Brisket Broads!
And they were like,
hey! And they're like, come over here!
Yeah.
We're like, okay.
And then as we get closer, it's like, oh, shoot.
Oh my gosh!
It's Kaylin. It's Morgan Fox's fiance. She calling us over with her whole group of friends. Yeah. And she's like, we're going to take a family photo. Get in here. And we're like, okay, yeah.
And they had like a converted van.
Yeah, and we're like, dude, we have a van too. These are our people. This is where I come from. We're just hanging out with the NFL players' fiancés. Invite us to the wedding.
We'll be there.
We really want to come.
We can come with you to Super Bowl too?
Yeah. Just invite us to anything and we will be there.
Yeah, that's what happened. And then we walked our familiar route and we saw those Christmas lights again.
We saw a familiar friend. Still here.
Oh, I didn't see
You guys remember that? Did it, was that bad? Oh, should we say the thing about how we saw Khalil Mack?
Oh, yeah.
Or something? Do you want that part to be in it?
I do. I love that part.
Okay.
I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. Who else is on here? I wanna hold your hand.
Mary wants that part to be in it. Yeah. What else? Oh, we didn't say the thing about how Joey gave you a thumbs up. We definitely should mention that. Yeah, we had signs, obviously. And then Mary was holding it, and I was filming her, and then this girl was like, I gotta walk through.
I was holding up the sign, and Joey was like, yeah. And I told Heather, and she's like, I didn't see it.
I'm sorry. I didn't film it. I'm sorry. I failed you.
But then on the Associated Press photo website, we saw this.
There was proof that Joey Bosa did thumbs up. And skeptics out there might say he was thumbs upping someone else, but we can tell you right now, that thumbs up was for this girl.
That was mine. Now. Don't take that from me.
And he also looked at me when I was eating my bean and cheese burrito, okay? Yeah. I have no visual proof of that, but I was sitting there and we made eye contact, so...
We'll stop talking about Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
But just on this video. We're going to keep talking about him later.
Yeah. I guess our next segment, even though last time we said our next segment would be the Broncos.
We said that like every time. Like the past 3 times.
But you saw what they did.
Yeah, you saw it.
Look at it. We'll watch it again. So we love you guys, and without a question, SoFi Stadium belongs to this team right here. And that team right there. And also, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Brisket Broads.
Well, who knew Khalil Mack's? I knew his hands were big. I didn't realize they were quite that big.
Real big.
I mean,
real big. You know what they say about big hands?
Big gloves.
More sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of sacks.
Lots of sacks. Well, ladies, thank you for giving us a
thank you.
So embarrassing.
We realized we didn't ask, and it was like the last home game, and I was like, oh no.
We need to like celebrate this. This needs to be
like,
commemorated.
Oh, no, we got to have them on, and I didn't realize the amount of production they put in and effort they do to make their segment awesome.
Hey,
but they knocked that out of the park. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
On the fly, that was good.
Great shots of Joey Bosa warming up.
Congrats on the thumbs up.
Yeah, congrats on the thumb and the eye contact.
Why would she lie about that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No reason to. There was nothing to gain from that.
No.
Well,
and love seeing the RB alumni, Kea, sitting with the Brisket Broads. Couldn't think of a better teammate to be sitting with you guys. So, all right. Thank you again for an awesome at-home Brisket A'broads. And now let us waste no more time. It's time to go to Ask Boltfam.
It's going to be girthy, boys.
Yeah. Do some breathing exercises.
I'm looking at this first question. It's so long.
Poor
Let's
Adam.
do this. It's going to be so fun. I can't
Here
wait.
we go. Let's go.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys. Go jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do. I wet myself in excitement.
Bosa hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam, and we start off with Boltville 714.
All right.
Who asked the question? My question is, have you guys ever heard the story of the weak little lambs? Well, it goes something like this. Once upon a time, there was a bear named Joey Bosa who had just woken up from hibernation. He took a walk into the forest. Pretty soon, he came upon a house. He knocked, and when no one answered, he said, "F it," and kicked the door down and walked right in. There was 3 little lambs inside the house about to eat dinner. Frightened, they begged Bosa Bear not to eat them and offered him hospitality. At the table in the kitchen, there were 3 bowls of porridge. Bosa was hungry. He tasted the porridge from the first bowl. "Your porridge sucks," he exclaimed, and tossed the bowls against the walls. He proceeded to take a shit in the middle of their dinner table. The weak little lambs, terrified, could do nothing but watch. He then walked into the living room, where he saw 3 chairs. Bosa would try out all the chairs. "These chairs suck. How do you game in them?" he exclaimed, and would break them over the lambs' heads, WWE style, knocking them out unconscious. Bosa would then make his way into the bedrooms and saw 3 beds. He tried them all out. "These beds suck," he exclaimed, and would call to invite his friends. They gave no fucks and had a rave party. They completely trashed the place and used powder blue spray cans to tag inappropriate sayings, such as, "We was in this bitch like a tampon," all over the walls. After Bosa and his friends left, the weak little lambs woke up and saw a note that read, "F your house. It's our house now, motherfuckers." The weak little lambs could do nothing but cry like little bitches as they began to clean up the mess that Bosa and his friends made. The end.
That was awesome. That should be told across elementary schools all over the nation.
Yeah. All the little kids that were listening and got photos with Kyle the coach. Yeah.
I like how you did it. They took a shit right in the middle of the
Right in the middle. Oh, it was big.
Yeah. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I like your audiobook narrator voice too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do that, right?
When the time arises, yes.
When the
when
wool
the mood
signal
strikes me, yes.
goes to the sky, I'll read audiobooks.
Yeah, it was the Bolts house, my friends. That was
hell yeah.
For that game. I mean, yeah, Rams got I was rewatching the highlights. Rams got a touchdown, and there were 2 fans waving a flag for the Rams. But other than that,
I don't know if you've noticed,
few and far between.
A lot of our home games, like they used to be able to do like wide shots of like when the other team would celebrate.
The color contrast of the stadium.
Yeah,
they're doing close-ups now. You're getting 2-3 people because there's too many Charger fans to make it a compelling shot. So like, okay, push in. All right, keep pushing in.
Tighter.
Yeah. All right, get it tighter. Tighten it up. And now it's just like a close-up of one guy going, that's all they got. So it's our house.
Yes.
Yeah, and even like you said, to rewatch the game and watch the Mike Williams catch, the other coaches have already submitted to our superiority.
No, they totally agree.
Wow,
it's our
that was
house.
a great catch. None of our guys could do that.
You can have it.
All right. Boltville 714. Thank you for the audiobook script. Appreciate it.
Very nice.
Moving on now to Slater IR, aka Go LA Bolts, who asked the question.
Should we fire Staley?
Now, I'm pretty sure he's being facetious and sarcastic. Like, should we? Yes. So,
you know our feelings on the matter.
Yeah. I don't think this is a serious question.
I think he's here for a very, very, very long time.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
Yeah. After that,
I mean, how often do you get like players coming out on social media to be like, give this guy more props?
Yeah.
I've never seen something like that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm so proud of him. I know he doesn't need me to be proud of him, but proud of my big boy. My big boy.
You're my boy, Blue.
My boy, Blue. I think he's my age too, so he's like a brother.
I think he's younger than you.
I think he's younger too.
No, he's not.
I believe so. It's close.
How old is
it's
Brandon?
It's going to be close. 40 years old.
40.
So he's a little bit older.
Close.
2 years older than I am. Okay.
All right.
Still got my cred.
Right. Missed it by
It's like a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's December 10th of 82, so it's like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
Slater IR, thank you for coyly asking the question. Let's move on now to OM Run, who asked the question.
Did you see that touchdown pass to Everett? I mean, did you see it? Neither did I. The camera shook and the ref said touchdown. That ball was so fast, even the cameraman couldn't see it. If Herbert threw a ball through a car wash, it would come out dry.
I like that analogy.
I like that a lot. That's hilarious.
Rewatching that pass, it's like the camera's like trying to go with it, and it just like it's a blur. Like it just gets lost. It like goes through like the fourth dimension and pops into Gerald's hands, and he's like, all right, touchdown, we got it.
Okay, so you know how we have that really dumb angle sometimes on kickoffs they'll do that really weird dumb like
behind
watching
the
kicker
angle.
approach the ball and then he kicks it and it kind of follows
like that
the ball.
Overhead shot kind of thing. Yeah.
Why do they never do that mid-game with an offense or defense? Like it would be so cool to see like from the end zone view, obviously right up on the quarterback though. Like you see what he's looking at, like at least give it as an option in like one of the replays that you can watch it in that view.
Yeah.
It'd be so cool. Like even if they did it on like a Monday night, you know how they have like the Manning cast,
oh yeah,
and then the normal broadcast. Like on the Manning cast, give that as an option to watch it like that. It would be, come on.
I think if you did that, you'd have more appreciation for what he's doing.
Yeah,
and how he's throwing in these windows he's putting it in.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the time you see the quarterback, he throws the ball, it pans, you have no idea what's going on, and then it lands in Mike Williams' hands.
Yeah.
Or hand.
Yeah. Or finger.
Yeah. Yeah. Or other appendage. OM Run, thank you for asking the question.
Thanks, dude.
Let's move on now to Elena Beanzor, who asked the question.
What is this? I'm not having a heart attack in the fourth? This must be complete fucking domination. We own LA. Bring on the donkeys and bolt the fuck up. So what was y'all's favorite play between Mike Dubb's one-handed sideline catch and X 72-yard TD run?
I've just, by default, I'm going to have to go Mike Dubb because I had mixed feelings about the Ekeler 72-yard touchdown just because I lost my fantasy game on that one play against Kyle. So I'm going to go with Mike Dubb's crazy catch where the opposing coach was like, you know what? Your house. Take it.
How about you, Kyle? What do you think?
Eckler's 72-yard run won me a fantasy championship. Was also it was a career long
72
for Eck. So yeah, that was awesome to see, especially with the way our running game's been playing. I feel like that was a little spark. It was crazy looking back at the stat line. We scored 31 points and Justin Herbert threw for 200 yards.
Yeah.
You know, like I expected to go to the stat sheet and see well over 300.
Right.
But it was just a balanced attack of beating them
2
up.
rushing touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns.
Well,
like,
and
that's
good
what
field
you want.
position because of the special teams. It's like every way that you look at it, it was just, I expected you would expect to need Justin a lot more to score 31 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ekeler had over, I think it was close to 150 total yards.
It was
something
insane.
like that.
Yeah. It was insane.
Yeah. Trying to see here. Rams. Yeah. 122 rushing yards. And I think threw an extra 30 receiving yards on top of that. So just an insane game yardage wise. And I would have to agree, Kevin's feelings notwithstanding, I think Ekeler's run, given how the running game has been this entire year, to have a big breakout run near the end of the season where we could potentially maybe see some of that again in the playoffs. That would be my favorite.
And it was power run. It was power running. It was getting downhill. It was pulling.
Trey
it was
Pipkins
all
pulling. No, wait, was it Trey?
No, it's Filer. Filer pulled, and Keenan Allen had a great block to really open it up.
Got a killer block.
Yeah, it was Filer pulled around the corner and had a great block. So it's good to see Filer doing that. It's good to see us power running. I want more of that.
Big time.
Yeah, for sure.
Alien of Beanzor, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Lexi M, who asked the question.
5th seed, here we come. I enjoyed most of that game, especially after the offense finally showed up. However, I really need Hill to step up with planning because we're not going to be able to hold off a good offense like the Bills, Kansas City, or the Bengals have if we have to meet them in the second round. Keeping that in mind, we do have Slater coming back soon, which means Justin and the O-line will get even better. So putting up points will be easier. Speaking of offense, who else was just flabbergasted by Roundtree being put in? Not to say he doesn't deserve to prove himself. It was just weird timing, personally. Sorry for the weird rant. Okay, question time. First, any thoughts on any of that which wasn't covered earlier? Second, what was your favorite alcohol and snacks to have during the game? Almost forgot. FTR, thanks for being amazing. You guys have been helping me feel better about things with your positivity. K, love you, boy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah.
I think I know we had one of our worst rushing allowing rushing yards in that game, but they only scored 10 points. And like Coach said, what he's going to do is you're not going to be able to throw on us. You're going to have to run. And they can run for however 180 whatever yards they had, but they only got 10 points. So I think this is kind of the recipe. If they could shore that up a little bit, make that even better. I'm not worried about these other teams. We've played the Chiefs kept them to 3 against us both games. We were very competitive against the 49ers, even when we were down a whole bunch of guys. So I have nothing but confidence. If we keep playing this way, it's going to be hard to beat us. It really will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And getting Roundtree in the game, that was just a matter of keeping guys healthy. You have him on the field. Sounds like he's been doing great in practice if he's taken over Isaiah Spiller's job.
Who wasn't activated.
So I think that was just a matter of, hey, X had a great game. He's run the ball a lot already. Yeah. Let's get another guy on the field to see what he can do.
Absolutely.
You're already up a couple scores. I thought it was fun to see him on the field. I wasn't bummed out. Like, where's Eck in that situation? A lot of the time, I'm like, why is Ekeler not on the field?
Yeah.
That time, I was like, oh, it's fun to see what Roundtree is doing. Like, he's been a scratch a lot of the season. Not like, I think he was bumped down to the practice squad for a little while too. Even so,
I think it wasn't he released at one point and they picked him back up? I may be wrong on that.
Maybe.
But I remember
I'm
seeing
not sure
something like that.
But yeah, he's been bouncing around. So I thought it was great to see him back on the field. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, especially since we let Sony Michel go. He's gone now that we've activated Joey Bosa. So yeah, good to keep all the running backs fresh. Obviously, Eckler's number 1. Josh Kelly has solidified his number 2 spot.
100%.
And now it's between Roundtree and Spiller, and
looks like
keeping both of those guys fresh. Yeah, Roundtree, I didn't think was terrible during that game. And if anything, got him some playing time and see what he can do in the postseason. So
Hopefully we don't need
we know
him.
we're going.
He's there. Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, Lexi M, thank you for asking the question.
And then it was favorite snack.
Oh yeah, favorite snack and alcohol.
I like the Modelo. I'm a Modelo guy for the games because it feels Southern California-y.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a California burrito guy. No pico, add guac.
Very good. What was the snack of choice for you, Kyle?
I don't know. I don't snack much. I don't really eat a whole lot. Well, yeah, I guess I go to OG's for the away games and I munch on some wings. They have bomb buffalo wings, so
that's cool.
I'll get down on some wings. But yeah, I don't have like a go-to. Not like Kevin and his burritos.
How about a drink of choice? Do you?
Oh no, it's dependent on the day. It's so all over the
whatever
map.
gets put in my hand.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen?
Well, during this last game, for me, the snack of choice was some popcorn, threw some little churro flavoring on top.
Nice.
Oh, it was so delicious. And for alcohol, they didn't have these in Idaho, and I remember seeing these being advertised, and I was like, man, I would love to have some of those. But for some reason, never made it to Boise. But here in Missouri, they've got the 12 packs of the hard Mountain Dew. Those are so good.
Yeah, they're really
they
good.
have zero sugar. And for a guy that's trying to lose weight, that was perfect. That was perfect. I love those. So, yeah, there you go. Lexi M, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Edward Moretti.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question. What happened to Kenneth Murray after playing great for 3 weeks? He regressed to the same old K9.
I did notice that he started the game kind of not making the best angle of pursuits, and he almost got absolutely burned for a touchdown by Cam. Was it Cam Akers on the little swing pass?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been playing so well. This is actually a really good question because I kind of piqued my interest when I was watching it, and it seemed like the times we had issues, it was kind of K9 was around it. So
I don't know. I saw one play. I think the viewing experience is different at the game than watching TV, and also hearing what people are talking about. But I saw one play. K9 had an incredible scrape from the middle, was super patient, kept his shoulder square, and made a great tackle for a gain of 1. The big toss that they had was not K9's fault. That was Nas Adderley taking the wrong shoulder. Again, watching it at the stadium is different, but I didn't see any glaring K9 was bad today. He did have a QB hit, so he was still getting in on some pressures.
Yeah.
I just don't think you had the highlight plays that you've had the last couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't call 1 week a regression by any stretch, especially after having 3 great weeks.
He had 6 tackles against the Colts and he had 4 against the Rams. What? I just don't think he had the flashy play this week. Maybe.
Sure, when that's okay. Not everybody gets that.
Something.
Yeah,
unless I missed something big, but
yeah. So I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Edward Moretti, thank you though for asking the question.
Yes.
Let's move it on now to Gavin Gibson, who asked the question.
Whose house? Chargers' house. We showed the Rams what a proper team from LA should play like. What was your favorite moment from the game? Also, do you think the NFL realizes that not having Ekeler in the Pro Bowl is one of the biggest mistakes they've made? Ekeler is an absolute beast, and I'm so happy we have him in powder blue. Got the donkeys to finish the regular season. Do you guys think that Bosa will get more reps to ease him into playoffs or full reps to prepare him for the games to come? Let's keep this rolling. I said that we'd win out for the rest of the regular season before the Dolphins game. I was being shamelessly positive, but the Chargers don't fail to entertain. Bolt up, guys. Let's get 8 sacks on Russ this weekend. K-love you, bye. Oh, almost forgot. Rams is my mother-in-law's team. She said she only picked them because she wanted to pick an LA team. She will be reminded from now until the end of time that she picked the wrong one.
That's your job as a son-in-law, to mess with your mother-in-law whenever possible. I think that's what we're put on earth to do. So
I don't know. That's a little bit of a dangerous life to live, Kevin.
You got to be smart about it. You can't be an idiot.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just go blare it on a podcast and then let her know about it.
My mother-in-law definitely doesn't listen to this podcast. I feel safe.
Mine neither.
All right. Well,
love you, Joe.
the question at hand, let's see. So Bosa getting worked in, and
I think he'll get more. I don't think he's going to play a full game again. You just got to ease him in and then get him full reps on that last game. Because what are you doing with Kyle Van Noy? Kyle Van Noy changed that game. Kyle Van Noy with that strip sack to change the game. You got to have him out there. So it's just so hard to decide what's going to happen with it, how they're going to line up the personnel. But hopefully,
even when Joey's healthy, he never plays 100% of the snaps. That's not going to be a thing. He always comes off and gets breathers here and there. So I think you just see a healthier rotation and keep guys fresher by the surgence of Kyle Van Noy here on the edge. So I think he'll get more. I think there'll be less of a snap count and more of a this is what the playoffs will feel like.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's going to be still like he's not going to play 80% of the snaps. He'll be on there 50%, and Kyle will get kind of tap Khalil and Joey out a little bit here and there. I think that's what the playoffs will feel like.
Keep them fresh, dude. That's going in the fourth quarter. People get, especially when they start running on us. You get into playoff football. There's a lot more running. That you're going to need guys fresh, and this is a great thing to have.
Absolutely. And then, any favorite moment from the game that wasn't Austin Ekeler's touchdown or Mike Williams' grab? Any other favorite moments?
I mentioned the Kyle Van Noy strip sack on an instant reaction. That was so good.
That was good.
That was pretty awesome.
So good.
I just get so excited for Van Noy, like you said in the instant reaction, just like being like 1 degree from knowing him. Like it's just really, really rad.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go, Gavin. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to House of Hain, who asked the question.
I say, the Ravens lost, so here comes the 5 seed our way. I really feel bad for Carr. I say, shit, I can't say that with a straight face. FTR. Now, are we gonna take the Broncos house? I say, just like we did the Rams. What a lovely time to be a Charger fan. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
That's right.
Yeah, it was weird. The Broncos looked pretty good against the Chiefs yesterday. It's like the offensive coordinator
we were watching
changed.
some pretty heavy hits. Yeah.
They had coaching change.
Yeah, new offensive coordinator, and they look different. They only lost by 3 to the Chiefs. And the more I watched a little bit of that game, I'm not crazy worried about the Chiefs right now. Like besides Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, they're not looking like they're firing on all cylinders. So,
I mean, I know that we've said that the Chargers have been the most injured team in the NFL. The Broncos might be taking that mantle here shortly. I think they've got the most players on IR right now. So they've got season ending or not coming back players. So yeah, they're pretty banged up. We really should.
Let's get this win. Comfortably get out of there unscathed and, secure that 5 seed.
Yeah, exactly. All right. House of Hain, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Cody Lung.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question?
Happy New Year, gang. Bolt the up. Also, how about the run by Austin? What was your favorite movie last year?
Such a toss in there at the end.
I love it.
All one sentence.
I love
right
it.
From
no
Austin's
punctuation, just a run
straight
on.
into what's your favorite movie?
I love it, Cody. These are my All right,
I'm gonna go first so Kevin doesn't take it.
All right.
Mine was Top Gun Maverick was my favorite movie last year.
That really might have taken it from Kevin.
I had a couple. Kind of a toss up. Like that one is so much fun. Like I saw that in theaters a couple times.
I only saw a couple movies in theaters, and that was one of them, and it was so good.
Yeah, that was an awesome movie.
There's 2 other movies that are like on my radar. Definitely Maverick, and the other one is Barbarian. If you've seen
Barbarian rocked.
That movie was crazy.
That had such an unexpected storyline.
Crazy. And then the one that caught me, I guess, being caught completely off guard by a movie, maybe a good reason to pick it as your favorite. It would be either Barbarian or Prey, which is the new Predator movie that didn't know it was a Predator movie until I started watching. And I was like, oh shit, this is a Predator movie. This rules. So since Kyle took Maverick, that probably would have been my pick. I'm actually going to go with Barbarian because it was so crazy. I hadn't seen anything quite like that.
That was a very original movie. I remember seeing the trailers for that going like, God, it's just going to be another horror movie. And it's fine. Yeah.
It's a horror, but it's like crazier than
original story. And it was so much fun.
Yeah.
For me, being a fan of animation, there was a lot of really good animated movies that came out last year. And my top 2 favorite movies, most recently just saw Puss in Boots, had zero expectation for Puss in Boots. That movie is amazing. It is beautiful. The voice acting is awesome.
My boys saw it yesterday and they loved it as well.
The character designs are great. Everybody just kills it. I'll watch that movie all the time now. That movie's so much fun.
I want to go watch it now.
Dude, it's so good. I'm not
kids.
kidding. It is one of my favorite movies. And then The Bad Guys. Love Bad Guys. That movie with Sam Rockwell.
That was good.
I mean, again, like, we're talking about animation, and I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but
no, I feel you're passionate about it.
We're talking about like a world now where, you know, we've seen 2D animation, we've seen CGI, and now we're seeing this other style of animation that we're not used to seeing. And it's this interesting kind of like, it's paintings, but they're moving, and they've got this nice depth of field, and there's these weird kind of stuttery motions of like, film rate or something like that that's changing. And I think those 2 movies are so entertaining. They're so fun, and they've got great stories. Can't recommend them enough. So this was for the children, I guess, listening to the podcast.
Covered all the bases.
Covered all the bases. So Cody Lung, it was a short question, but a long answer.
And welcome.
Yes.
Don't be a stranger.
Absolutely. Let's move it on now to Die Hard Bolts fan, who asked the question.
Oh, I just have one question. Whose house? Hoo-ha. Okay, another question. Do you believe the only way to get the respect of analysts, commentators, and experts is to win a Super Bowl? Hoo-ha. Because I know I'm not imagining the lack of respect despite the talent level. What do you guys think? Hoo-ha.
It's just frustrating. You do that thing where you go watch, the commentators talk about us after a game, and we're just an afterthought right now. Like, people are not really taking us seriously. So good. At the end of the year, when we do what we're going to do, people are going to have to take notice. So
we play better as the underdog. You put pressure on, like, expectations on us, and things start to turn. Underdog, keep not talking about us.
Yeah.
We feed off of it. I think it makes it better for us.
Totally.
And really, all it does, when we hear these kind of takes, especially about Herbert, all it does is go like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Or
you don't watch
you're just trying to be, what's the word? When you're just saying the opposite of what a contrarian. You're just trying to be a contrarian just so that you can be different.
Yeah.
And not be like, oh, yeah, no, he's awesome.
You want to be heard.
Yeah, you just want to be heard. You want people to look at you and listen to you, even though what you're saying is not accurate in the slightest. So don't put these guys on pedestals. And even if Herbert wins the Super Bowl, there's going to be somebody going like, he's overrated.
No, defense.
He got lucky, players and teams, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just don't listen to that noise. That noise is
just that
dumb
noise.
It's just noise. There you go. Die Hard Bolts fan, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Hawaiian Surfer, who asked the question. Damn, okay, to Joe Lombardi for the offensive game plan. Still hate the guy, though. I'm convinced Staley slammed his big brass balls on his stupid little notepad and told him to get his vertical game going even. Probably even drew up some plays himself. The offense looked very different. We committed to the run, throwing the ball deep, but more importantly, Herbert didn't have to do it all on his own even this time, and that's what we need heading into the playoffs. Credit to Lombardi for the strong performance. The only question I have is for Wooly D. I remember you saying you dye your beard powder blue if the Chargers made the playoffs. Is that still in effect, Sir Wool? I don't have a beard, but I can join your train and dye my bush downstairs even. Are we not fully bolted the up? K love you bye even.
Wait, who is that voice? We haven't heard that one before.
Snagglepuss. Exit stage right even.
Snagglepuss.
Well, he asked me to do a voice I've never done, and I was like, shit, I'm like,
I've done them all.
I've got like a list of voices, and you're asking me to do something that's not on this list, and I'm like,
That's good. Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss even. All right.
I think there's going to be a come around for people that are they've been so indoctrinated with how much they hate Lombardi. It's just, it's like a passage. Like you have a card. It's like a membership card. You get to go hang out with your friends if you have the card that you hate Lombardi. Let's let these next couple weeks happen. We didn't make big mistakes. These big plays that happened, they were happening in previous games. We just had something that called it back. It didn't happen in this game.
Yeah.
They weren't called back. We were going down the field. So
and we stuck to the run because the run was working.
Exactly. So we
usually switch off because we can't run the ball at all.
Right.
We're averaging like 2 yards a carry. Yeah, we're not going to run the ball.
And it's the fact that maybe Coach Staley went and had a meeting with
potentially
Joe. I'm sure that probably happened.
He's the head coach. That's his assistant. You know, like that. And that's not going to be. That's assuming they haven't had conversations all year long.
Absolutely.
You know, like
you got to know that they're communicating.
They meet every single day and have talks. Like Joe Lombardi has to present his game plan to Coach Staley. He's not just on his own little planet doing whatever he wants.
Right.
Yeah.
He's going to go to
Staley.
Brandon
Doesn't
Staley.
pop in and go, "Hey, love what you're doing," and then you'll see on Sunday.
Yeah. No, he's the head coach. Like he has to submit a written up scouting report of what they're going to do and how they're going to attack and what personnel they like, and he has to give the okay. I'm sure that's how it works. So yeah, I mean his influence probably was there, but you're now just seeing the benefits of a healthy team.
Exactly.
You can run the ball, you can throw the ball, you can do what you need to do in getting Mike the ball downfield. But that doesn't happen unless you run the ball and you have to draw up linebackers and you get the coverage that you want. Like when everything is working like it did on Sunday, it looks like a great game plan. Those game plan is probably similar to what he wants to do every game. It's just when it doesn't work out, you got to adjust and change on the fly.
Right. Yeah.
Totally.
And execution, 100%. We're seeing guys not make mistakes. We're seeing guys doing the plays as they're written up, I'm sure. Beard.
Powder blue beard.
Powder blue. You're going to have to help me with that, Kevin, because
I'm happy.
It's hard to get it.
I'm happy.
It's hard
help.
to get the blue just right.
No, I'm coming over. Hey, the first game, I'll do full face paint. For the
playoff game.
Yeah. Just like
Let's
Kyle's
do it.
championship game where we went full face paint and you dyed your beard.
Yeah.
We'll do that again for our first playoff game.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm all for it. And
You're just
Hawaiian
sitting-
server.
You're just sitting at Adam's house together, fully painted up.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to look awesome.
And Hawaiian surfer, if you want to take care of those pubes, we'll just take your word for it. No pictures needed. But thank you for asking the question.
No pictures needed.
No,
That's
you
the
don't need
title
to
of
prove
today's
it. We
episode.
trust you, big guy. Let's move it on now to Boltified 90, who asked the question.
Staley has often mentioned playing our best football at the right moment towards the end of the season, and it seems like we're doing just that. Can you guys recall any other year we felt like we were rolling on all cylinders heading into the playoffs? This just feels different this year. Thanks, guys. K, love you, bye.
I completely agree. This feels more like the Marty Schottenheimer kind of energy that I remember. I never felt this way with a Norv team, never felt this way with the McCoy or Lynn team.
Yeah.
So this feels like an older, LT was our running back when I felt like this. When you have weapons and you feel confident in your defense and you just not worried, you just excited to see what's gonna unfold. So I'm completely with you. I just incredible amount of confidence right now being a Charger fan for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2006, we ended the season winning 10 in a row. Ended the season 14-2. I felt real confident that year going into the playoffs.
Yeah, when you get on a run.
Probably since 2006, we sneak into the playoffs, right? Last game, it's like almost like a do we belong in here type of feeling a lot of the time. Like I know we got in, but it kind of feels like we snuck in.
Yeah, was this a black tie affair? I didn't bring my red clothes.
Yeah. This feels like we should be higher than the 5 seed. Like Jacksonville and Tennessee get the 4 just because they won their god awful division. You know,
people are talking about Matt Money Smith was talking about it on the last podcast. How they should go back to change the rules.
It has to be adjusted. Yeah, like you win your division, you get in the playoffs, but you're not guaranteed a top 4 seed.
Yeah,
like that sucks for the teams that for Kansas City and for Buffalo and for Cincinnati and these teams that are up there, and now they're having to play like another team that's hot right now instead of being able to play Jacksonville, you know? So,
and it makes teams fight more at the end of the year because you could get home field advantage.
Right. You're not just guaranteed to be a wild card away team because you didn't win your division.
Right.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely feels different. We saw a stat. I'm trying to remember if it was while the game was going on, but it was that like the Chargers haven't had a double-digit win. They've only had it happen one other time, once in 2018, and then it hasn't happened
2010.
Yeah. We've only had 2 seasons of double-digit wins, so like, yeah, this definitely feels different.
And that's sneaking in. You get the 9 wins, you sneak into the playoffs. You know, we're about to possibly have 11-win season. It's just different, man. It's just a different feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, finishing as strong as we are feels very different. But Boltified 90, thank you for asking the question. Moving on to Athir Kadir, who asked the question.
I have a question. With Joey coming back, will Fox and Van Noy be difference makers in the playoffs? Asking for a friend.
I don't know. What do you think, Coach? With Joey coming back, is there, especially with Van Noy? I mean, Morgan Fox isn't necessarily the same position, but Kyle Van Noy coming in and playing in Joey's absence.
He's just been playing so well too.
Yeah. I think they still have an opportunity to be difference makers. Even this last week, Joey came back. Kyle still had a strip sack and fumble recovery. So I think those guys are those different makers now that they've had a lot of time to play and a lot of experience. Morgan Fox had a sack again this week as well. So
he has 6.5, most he's ever had in his career.
Yeah, that's big time. It's like now that these other guys are coming back healthy, that's great. These guys still now are in like they have rhythm. They can come in fresh and make big plays. I think for sure they're still going to be different makers come the postseason. You need depth. It's a long season. Like they're going to have played 17 games, and then you have to play 4 more to win the Super Bowl. So, they have to have an impact if we're going to be successful for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. Well, there you go, Athir Kadir. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Drew Tranquil Stan Page,
certified fresh,
who asked the question. How long do you ride the Ekeler train before you start to worry about age playing a factor? Granted, he is a big part of our offense, and we have no true RB2. Once Ekeler declines, that's a brutal blow to the offense.
Running backs generally don't have the longest shelf life, but I think the way he's playing right now, the way he's takes care of his body, I don't see there's no regression at all. So
no, the guy's still kicking on all cylinders. He's still the strongest guy on the team. Yeah. And he still has 3 years left on his 2 more years on his contract.
Yeah.
So
which I hope they should sign him to that third contract for sure.
This year, and then he has 1 more year, I believe.
After that, I have a feeling they're going to sign him again. I think they will.
Yeah, he'll be 28 in the 2023 season.
Yeah, usually running backs are done around 30-ish, early 30s.
Yeah. Hopefully they give him another 2 or 3 year deal. Keep him. You don't worry about him until you see some kind of decline. Like we've not seen any. He's just gotten better every year since he started playing. So once even if he just levels out, then maybe you can discuss it. But I don't know, man. He's had 2 of the more healthy years of his career have been the last 2 years, scoring 20 touchdowns a season. I'm not thinking about that right now.
Even if he levels out, he probably should still make the Pro Bowl. Even a leveled out version of Ekeler should still be in the Pro Bowl.
100%.
Yep.
All right. Drew Tranquil Stan Page, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Nikon,
certified fresh,
who asked the question. Does 5th seed, 6th seed matter? Do we really want to play a Jaguars team that beat us? Why do Bolt fans want them to face the Jags? Wondering minds want to know.
Because they're the least talented team that you could face.
You look at the record.
They've been on a run lately, but when they beat us, you got to take into account what we were that week.
Exactly.
That was our worst week in terms of injuries and Justin not being Justin.
Right.
Yeah, it's Bills, Chiefs, or Jags. I want the Jags.
100%.
Or Bengals. Right. So Bills maybe get the 1 seed. So Chiefs, Bengals, or Jags, it's just I would rather play the Jaguars in the first round.
Right.
In a nice warm weather game in sunny Florida, then go to Cincinnati and play in another freezer bowl against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Although those other teams, The Jaguars are hot. Yeah. Those other teams have been hot the whole season.
Right.
They've lost like 2 games. So
Right.
yeah, I would rather play the Jaguars.
100%.
There is something about retribution when it comes to these kind of games. You want to be able to come back and be like, yeah, that game that happened before, not this time. Sit down.
It's hard to beat the same team twice.
Exactly. So, all right. Nikon, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to the sports advocate.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question. With the offense seemingly beginning to correct itself, do you think the Bolts can sustain this into the postseason?
Not only sustain, they're going to get better. I think they're going to thrive and get even more dangerous when the games really matter.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
don't
stop.
Yeah, don't stop.
Yeah, it should absolutely be sustainable. Again, the guys are as healthy as they could possibly be right now, and I don't know what that's a testament to. Honestly, I know that like we're getting guys back from injury, but we're not getting injured like we were in the beginning of the season. We're not losing guys anymore, and I don't know if that's something that was corrected. I don't know if they're just playing better. I don't know what to attest that to.
Luck.
Better luck.
Yeah, better luck. I mean, it could just be something as simple as that. So,
Football
luck.
gods,
I mean, dude, for
us.
the Chargers to get a clinched playoff spot in week 16, like luck is clearly on our side right now.
Yeah.
Getting other teams to lose or win that
Fall
need
apart.
need to. Everything is falling into place for Chargers to get a 5th seed going into week 18.
Yeah.
A 5th seed. Like, everything has fallen into place. Luck is clearly on our side, and we can hold on to that going into the postseason.
Build on it. Good teams build on this stuff. Good teams are able to maximize this kind of momentum and make yourself even better and go kick some ass in the playoffs.
There you go. The Sports Advocate. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Michael Stephen Haas.
Certified Fresh.
Who asked the question. This is Big Mike. You guys had me on Fan Focus before the season started, and I was wondering if you wanted me on again. I'm the guy that told you about how fun tailgating was with my mom, and several big moments I witnessed between 78 and now. Hit me up and we could do it again. It seems as if the national media is underestimating us just when we're getting our injured players back and winning games. Do you think our playoff opponents will take us too lightly, and will that work in our favor? Love you, bye!
I was wrong. Not Certified Fresh. You have asked a question before. Sorry, Michael Stephen Haas. Shit.
And you had him on the show.
I was doing so good. I knew he was on the show. I just didn't know. I didn't recognize the question. And
that's okay.
It didn't come up in my database.
That's all right.
I was doing so well.
Well, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I know you are. Disappointed in myself.
Playoff opponents taking us too lightly. I don't know if opponents will necessarily take us too lightly. Analysts and commentators will obviously take the Chargers too lightly. Teams know how good the Chargers are playing right now, and they're watching tape. They're watching film. They know how dangerous we could potentially be. So
it's got to be a nightmare to prepare for our offense. It's got to really, for a defensive coordinator to figure out how to stop Justin Herbert, it's got to be a freaking pain in the ass. So I'd imagine all these players are going to be ready to go against us. We just got to be the better team that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to take us lightly as far as an opponent. And you get in the playoffs, it's all hands on deck. Everyone's locked in, fired up, ready to go. So, yeah, we're going to get whoever we play, Jacksonville, Nashville, or Tennessee, whoever it is, it's going to be, you're going to get everything they got.
Whatever Ville we're going to, we'll be ready, and they'll be ready
Jacksonville,
too.
Yeah, we're coming.
All right, Michael Stephen Haas, and I'm sure Kevin would love to have you back on the show. Talk some more. Some more fan focus.
We've gotten past the 100-point mark, so I think we can start bringing back some older faces, some older fan focuses.
Oldies but goodies.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Hangry Seth, who asked the question.
What if? Now, this is just thoughts of a madman. What if Lombardi has fooled us all? Do you think he's been holding back and saving all our best plays for the playoffs? And Are we just emotional fans and he's actually a mastermind? FTR.
We are.
Hey,
we
man.
are definitely.
I think the
emotional fans.
second part
Yeah,
is absolutely true.
You can't argue that. Dude, I mean, I don't know. It sounds.
I don't think he's whole. I don't think he's probably sitting on some plays. They did talk. There was an interview with him, and they were talking about how, there's still stuff they haven't run, and like that one throwback pass, they've had that in the game script for multiple weeks, but they never had the down and distance. They wanted to use it.
Oh, interesting.
So I think it's just like, I think he's got a lot of cool stuff up his sleeve, just whether or not we execute it to a T. If we can execute this stuff to a T, I think he's going to look like a mastermind. If our offense is clicking the way we want it to click, we're still, what is it, the 11th best offense in the league right now? Wasn't it some stat I saw on the game? It was even higher,
overall,
maybe 7th.
During the game. So overall, we had the 11th best. I think we had the 3rd best pass offense and like the 30th best rush defense. Average
Rushing
the two,
offense.
we're up at 11.
Yeah.
Overall.
So just look at that, guys. Like, it may not be what you want Justin Herbert to be doing every week, is you want him to throw downfield, but we are the number 3 passing team in the league. So
yeah,
let's see. Everyone wanted to really just end his tenure with the team right away. I feel like he's still a good coach and could call good plays and get us to where we want to go.
100%. So crazy, it just might be right. Hangry Seth, thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Cerberus 21, who asked the question. Food donkey, what a game and what a way to whoop on the sheep team in LA. I'd say Rams, but you have to have balls to be a Ram, so they are now the Los Angeles Sheep Boys. I'm not going to lie, my dudes. I really thought going into playoffs we'd have an offense that would let our tough players' defense down. But after a season-high point total and our run game being thrusted into high gear by the smooth operator himself, I believe in this Chargers team to go far in the playoffs and go down swinging if we go out. I'm all the way on the Super Bowl 57 train, and if you ain't bolting the f*** up, then you can get the f*** off. My question is, how are each of you watching Wildcard Weekend when the Chargers play? Everyone have a great week, and remember to slap the hindquarters of any Rams fan you see, as we are officially their daddies now.
Your daddy.
Give him a little spanking.
Daddy. I mean, TV, probably.
Yeah, probably Adam and
TV
I
of sorts.
Adam and I at his place watching the game and, with the blue beard and face paint. Yeah, it'll be ready to go.
Not willing to make a drive to the nearest Die Hard Bowl Club watch party?
There's not one near us. We'd have to go to
Chicago.
I don't
know if there is one near us.
We'd have to go to Chicago. It's like 6 hours, 7 hours.
Doesn't sound impossible.
It's not impossible.
You make good points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spirit is willing, but the body.
I think your beard and my face paint would probably do better in a group setting. So maybe we consider that.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll reach out.
I think Chicago's the closest one. I'm pretty sure.
That'd be a pretty fun city to watch the game.
Our boy Bobby up there.
Bears won't be playing, so.
No.
That's true.
No animosity.
Yeah.
Boys trip. Should we go?
Boys trip.
We'll figure it out. That's actually not a bad idea.
We'll see, but at the very least, our backup plan is to hang at home and watch it. I think Kyle will probably go to the one and only
Ogies.
So I have a predicament on my hands, boys.
Whoa, what?
I'll be in Hawaii the whole week leading
Hawaiian
up to the wild card game.
Say what?
Right now, our flight is scheduled for Sunday at 9 a.m. like Pacific time.
Change it.
Well, it depends. We might have the Saturday. There's 2 Saturday games, 3 Sunday games, and a Monday game. So if we have the Saturday, Saturday game, I'm chilling poolside in Hawaii watching the game. Or if it's on Monday, I'll be at OG's for sure. If it's on Sunday, I'm gonna have to change my flight and figure something out. So
Definitely change your flight, and then go back to the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little swim up bar. Hang
That's
out.
what I did
over
last time. We stayed at the same hotel last year during the preseason, and there's like a gazebo like under in a cave with a swim up bar.
Come on.
That's why I'll be watching the whole game.
Yeah. They had TVs in there?
Oh yeah. In like the underwater cave. Yeah.
Sign me up. Let's go there,
Jesus.
Kevin.
Okay. Boys trip.
Boys trip. Cerberus 21, thank you for asking the question. Let's moving on now to Ernie 2175.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question?
Who do you think would be the worst matchup for the Chargers in the wild card round?
This is a good
What team you're most scared of, really?
Yeah.
The question is who's going to get that 1 seed in the AFC. Like that's going to still be decided. It could be a toss up.
And now we don't know because how this game that they
got postponed.
Got postponed, right?
Rightfully so.
Right.
Can't imagine none of those guys were in a state to play football. So
No.
like how that all pans out right now, the Chiefs have a half a game lead as the number 1 seed. I don't want to play the Bills in the wild card round. I don't want to go to Buffalo in that freezing cold against that running game and play them at all.
No.
I'm not to say that like I don't think we could beat them, but in the wild card round,
that's a tough way to start. And you still have 3 games behind that if you want to get to where you're going.
There's no way for us to play them because you'd have to be the 7th seed to play Kansas City or Buffalo. And we've already guaranteed that we'll be the 6th seed. So it's really our options right now are Baltimore, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, or Tennessee.
Right.
And of those 4, I guess I would say Cincinnati is the one I would least like to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think there's even still a crazy possible outcome. Like if Cincinnati loses these next 2 games and Ravens win their next 2 games, Ravens might actually sneak up into that spot.
Yeah,
so,
that's how we would play the Ravens is if they end up winning the division, which I don't
really want to play Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, honestly. Like
Lamar Jackson hasn't played football in like
I was going to say, I don't even know what his
he'll probably be back for the playoffs once they get in. But
I don't know. I don't know what his situation is. I only watch the Chargers, but
either one of these, any one of the Villes, Nashville. That's funny. Nashville or Jacksonville, or
Cincinnati.
I'd be fine with Cincinnati or the. If something, I don't think it's even possible to play the.
So who
Chiefs.
do you not want? You're naming every team
Bills,
you don't care.
Yeah,
the
Bills.
Bills are really the ones.
I'm pretty much good with everyone except for the Bills, but I don't even think that. I am still like not adverse to playing the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not. I think way our team's built right now, we're going to be on the road either way. Yeah. So I think we can beat any of these teams, and you need to have that confidence to feel like you're going to win the Super Bowl. So you're going to have to run into them eventually. So week 1, I'd rather have the warm weather game where you're up against a team that's 8-8 or 8-9 or 9-8. Yeah. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Ernie 2175. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to CD, who asked the question. Well, how about that, eh? Up by so many points, we start sitting starters like the dog shit Raiders did to bitch ass Carr. What are y'all's go-to victory shots? And for coach, need a little help here.
Oh, yes.
No, that's a new one.
All right. Well, I jumped the gun here by taking the border off. CD posted a picture not too dissimilar to the Centaur question. Let's share it with everybody and let's get the coach's opinion here.
Yeah.
All right. So here is the hardest question of the night. If a dolphin would smoke cigarettes, would he smoke them like this through his blowhole or like this through his mouth?
Well, he looks way cooler smoking through his mouth. I'll just say that right off the bat. That cigarette
cool
shooting out of the
blowhole.
top of his head.
Yeah.
Not a good look. That does not look cool at all. And let's be real, that's why anyone smokes cigarettes. You look cool. You try to look cool doing it.
And don't smoke
Doesn't look
cigarettes.
cool.
If you're don't smoke cigarettes. But it's not
cigarettes. But I would imagine that only effective. Well, I guess it goes to this. It comes.
I love that you're talking yourself out of it.
It comes down to this, right? If you are smoking cigarettes to look cool, then you do it the way picture B because that looks cool.
Right.
If you're doing it for the effect, the nicotine, the tobacco, then yeah, you got to go blowhole. I mean,
gotta go blowhole.
Gotta go blowhole.
Full blowhole.
Yeah.
Full blowhole. Yeah.
Giving me like a tobacco jaws kind of vibe. Like you definitely see this dolphin coming.
Yeah, you don't mess with that dolphin.
Like a chimney coming at you.
No, that's a shark. That's no dolphin.
Yeah.
No.
And Jaws, you would see the fin, but in this, you would see the cigarette kind of going. Instead of
you see smoke.
Yeah, instead of
it's like a fucking chimney coming at you.
You'd hear. All right.
Oh my God, that movie needs to happen.
Let's get rid of this.
Jaws dolphin.
All right.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
That was good.
CD for asking always the best questions. We love that. Let's move it on now to Clyde.
He asked another question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's your go-to victory shot?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He's a double dipper. My answer is going to be very similar to my previous question about alcohol and game day drinks. It's whatever is available.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion on what we're taking shots of.
Sure.
It's whatever.
What is everyone else doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you all have a go-to victory shot? Because really, it's just what do we have in the fridge or the cabinet? Okay.
And let's be honest, beginning of the season, we didn't have a huge array of items. Be like, hey, let's pick and choose what we want for this victory celebration. It was like, let me dust this thing off because we're not winning very much.
Oh shit, we won. Let me get the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately it's been this Svedka pineapple mango. Okay, Kev don't like it, but he drinks it and we salute him for it.
Yeah.
I need to get some more. I need to get some better stuff over here.
Yeah.
Now that
for
we're
our
winning
victory
football
shots. Yeah, now that we're winning, let's get the good stuff.
5 more. We should have 5 more victory shots.
5 more dubs.
That's what we need. We're
Line them
up. 5.
All right. CD, there you go, buddy. Thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Clyde Zero Morris.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
Thoughts on J.C. Jackson next year?
Question is if he's going to be back to his form with that injury.
Right.
Like people are saying that's like a career ender if it's not rehabbed and just doesn't come back properly. I don't know. I'm curious what they're going to do with Mike Davis because Mike Davis is playing so damn well.
Out of his mind.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like he's playing well. Callahan's playing well. Like
Sante's
Mike
playing
Davis.
well.
Mike Davis still has 1 year on his contract. So you're only in control of him for 1 year. So if you're trying to get anything for him, he is about as high as he can be right now on the trade market as far as getting something back. Now, I'm not saying I want to trade him whatsoever.
Right.
I think he's played out of this world, and we owe him $6 million last year. Next year. That's the base salary for next year.
Mm-hmm.
His cap hit is 9. I think he's played pretty, and with JC's future being kind of unknown for the beginning of next year, I think Mike Davis is your guy to start the year and see what happens. But I'm still excited about JC. We did not see anything of what he has shown his whole career at the Patriots. So I'm still excited to see what he can do when he comes back.
Yeah, we can only just hope that he can come back and be, the same JC Jackson that he was prior to that injury. We've seen that could be a potential season-ending injury, and obviously we don't want that to be the case, but
career-ending possibly.
Yeah. We'd love to see him back. That's we got the guy. We were excited for him. I want to see him play. So yeah, let's get him back next year.
Amen.
Clyde Zero Morris, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Pareto.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
My question is, are you okay if we enter next year without a new OC?
Just for the idea of the heads that would explode would be kind of fun to watch if we had if Lombardi's back next year. I think everyone is going to be disappointed if he is. I am still holding out hope that he's going to show up when we need him the most.
I was going to say it's going to depend on how far we go here.
Yeah.
If we go all the way, why? Why would you want something different?
I don't know.
But we also have talked about, like Kyle said on some previous episodes, that like if we go all the way, chances are Joe Lombardi is going to be a head coach somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean,
or the chances that Sean Payton swoops him for wherever he ends up at as his OC.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that could happen, but I would not be upset if he's back as our OC next year.
Yeah,
I think what he's shown with when we have our roster together, and even when we don't, I know it wasn't great, but like we were 6-6 until we got our guys back, and now we've gone on a little
miraculously
run
started winning games. Yeah. Who would have thought? So yeah, there you go, Pareto. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Lyle Henry.
Certified fresh.
Who asked the question.
obviously we are going to have a lower first-round draft pick because we're in the playoffs, but I'm curious what position you guys think we should target.
32.
No, like position.
What position?
Oh, I was like, where should we draft? The last pick? That's where my brain was like,
No, like what player position do you think we should target?
I always went offensive lineman
Same.
in the first round. I just offense, or if that stud interior defensive lineman guy is there, I just think the trenches is where the game is won and lost. And so give me all the linemen that you got.
Do what we never did for Phil. Would give him like a stable of offensive linemen that is just, because you're only going to be as good as Justin Herbert, really, if you look at it. So what do you need? You need to protect him. You need to keep him upright.
If tight ends slip, I would love an elite tight end coming out. But
nice, fresh, young tight end coming in.
I know we got Hunter Henry round 2, so back end of round 1, I feel like there should be. What are you giggling? I don't think I heard that.
It was very sexy.
Young, fresh tight end.
Yeah,
very, very sexy.
Toit like a tiger.
Yeah, strong, powerful.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate any of that. I mean, I know a lot of people bang the drum for a speedy wide receiver. I don't know that one's necessarily going to fall if we're making a deep run in the playoffs and how far we end up. But
last time we had a late
it's always
draft,
going to be best player available.
Well, I'll just say this. Last time we had a late draft pick was when we went into the playoffs when we drafted Jerry Tillery. So as long as we're not drafting Jerry Tillery, I think it'll be a success.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Take it to the bank.
That's right. Lyle
just
Henry.
not Jerry Tillery.
It's not Jerry Tillery.
That's our take.
Not Jerry Tillery 2.0, please.
Yeah.
Lyle Henry, thank you for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with our old friend who hasn't been around in a long time, Nick, a.k.a. Dr. Defense Hughes.
Oh, shit.
Who asked the question?
I know it's been a minute, man, but who in my absence ordered 200 kilos of pure undiluted steroids to inject into this gorgeous, jacked, raging bull of a football team? We made the playoffs, baby! I said what I f***ing said. Being the most injured team in the league for a lot of the season, I can't keep this big, hairy bull from shaking this rider off, kicking him in the nuts, and making this league ours. Firstly, tonight's game could not have made me more proud to be a Charger. Those little pussy pancakes can shut the f*** up about whose house. It's our house, you stupid little sausages. And you can't do shit about it with Mike sailing into the stratosphere to catch balls and Ekeler rolling in for his longest touchdown with his big, sweaty, bald-ass head. Man, I just want to kiss it. And not to mention Herbert zipping fucking bullets into the end zone over the sack some quarterback whose name I've already forgotten, then watching Herbert stride up to the stage, playing both sides 11 feet firmly in the ground, adjust his beautiful mango and cedarwood scented mane, and smack those little rodents silly before they even finished eating their crab rangoon. If there was any doubt Herbert is a fucking lead farmer with those rockets, there is none now. Man, we fucking bamboozled him. They didn't even know what the day of the week it was. They're gonna need help just getting changed in the mirror in the mornings after that ridiculous ass spanking. Also, the Miami game made me more excited than a raccoon in a dumpster. Just solid performances all around that made me want to take every player out for dinner and call them afterwards to make sure they got home okay. Now we can finally end the Tua versus Herbert debate. There's no question that Herbert eats players like Tua for breakfast and goes back for seconds, thirds, and fourths without saying thank you. He's the superior specimen who will shit on any opponent purely because he wants to. And do you know why? Boys, because I said so, you big dumb bitch. Go find something else to cry about, beluga whale fans. The tides of fate are turning, boys. But do you think we could feasibly make a deep playoff run given Lombardi's play calling, which seems to be as problematic as a Raiders fan trying not to commit any crime? Let me know what you guys think before I get too biologically excited for my own good. Over and out.
Welcome back, Dr. Defense
Welcome
Hughes.
back.
Holy shit. Big
That was
dumb
good.
bitch.
You big dumb bitch.
Pussy pancakes.
Pussy pancakes.
Goes up there too. That's really
I don't know how we make that
Stupid
the
little
title.
sausages.
Yeah, we have to make that pussy pancake.
Oh boy. All right. Well, one more little jab at Lombardi to end this episode. Yeah.
I don't see why he can't be a good play caller if we just execute. Just execute. And you have the guys making crazy catches. You have us breaking huge runs. Like, just more of that.
It just execute the game plan. We're not being apologists for Joe and saying like, oh, he's the best OC ever. There's not a problem with him or anything like that. There's obviously room for improvement. And obviously when guys get hurt, you got to be able to coach the right plays, call the right plays to help these guys succeed. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I mean, just because when we win games, it's not the way that you wanted us to win, is that necessarily his fault? It's not even a fault. We won. There's no one to blame when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. It's just the expectations. We have Justin Herbert. I hear like that all the commentators talk about like they're just not utilizing him well. They're not utilizing him well. Like, okay.
They want 400 yards a game and 5 touchdowns.
Like, I'm not sure what we're talking about. Like, I get the critique and like the annoyance, but we were all really excited last year the way our offense was playing, and that was with Joe Lombardi. So
and Herbert is still, I haven't looked at the most recent ratings, but last week he was still the third best passing. He had the third most passing yards in the freaking game, and you're saying you're not utilizing him well? He's already up at number 3. What more do you want from him?
It's just the touchdowns, man. We just need to get more touchdowns, and we did that this week.
And he got 2 this last game. And hey, we didn't even talk about that. Touchdown in the third quarter, baby.
Sign me up.
Shut up about that.
Finally.
I don't want to hear it no more.
Yeah. Kind of bummed we scored. I kind of wanted that streak.
You wanted that to be our identity?
Yeah.
Our identity. I kind of bought in.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. He threw touchdowns and threw it to Donald Parham of all people. So glad for him to get the touchdown at home as well. And Gerald Everett getting the touchdown catch as well. So it's good. Everything's good. We're fine. Everything's fine.
I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
How are you? All right. Well, Nick, thank you.
Welcome
so
back.
Good to hear
We've
from you
missed
again, buddy. And thank you everybody who asked questions this week in Ask Boltfam. I'm sure this is a 75% Ask Boltfam episode, and we're okay with that here at Charger Chat. But I think that's going to do it for us here. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
Let's have a good week.
I don't think so.
Get ready.
I'm excited.
Good week. Let's get a good practice in. Let's see Derwin come back.
Pray for Rashawn Slater.
Pray for Rashawn. We saw pictures of him in the
he given Herbert a hug. He's like, maybe he whispered in his ear, like, I'll be back next week.
Just wait.
I'll be right there.
Hold on.
Yeah. And the bodyguard music starts playing.
I'm coming.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors. After the game, try new Old Spice Mango and Cederwood hair and body wash.